And we're going to continue to focus inward. There's an activity that we want to share with you by Joan Borisenko and called The Mirror. There's a channel that we have, an energetic channel, and that through that channel it flows from, we have many energetic channels, but this one is from the heart to the eyes. And that it has that kind of subtle energy that flows through the heart, through the eyes, and helps us to bring that love right out and communicate it to the world. And also, it's a way to receive love into our souls, and a way to express love into the souls of another, just through that energetic channel from the heart up through our eyes. So we want to practice a bit with that energy channel. Lenny and I love Glenda Green, and I know Jim is also a fan. He's the one that introduced us to her, to the Love Without End book. And so one of the things that I really liked the concepts was, there was a question she had asked, and it basically was, is structure necessary? And it's always been so powerful to me that, like, she basically said, in the response, she was having a conversation with Jesus, and the response is basically that structure is there as a channel of love. And so we have this beautiful body and this being that we can consider structure, and the more that we support this beautiful structure in health, that in some form or the other, it can be a more clear channel of that love. And that is what also our structures in our world are really supposed to be about, is conveying love. And when a structure in the world, and I'm not talking about the body now, just in the structure in the world, no longer serves people or no longer serves love, it's just, then it becomes just a structure that serves itself. So then usually what's the best option is either to renovate that structure or to let it go. And so then we really want to have structures in our world that are about conveying love, or create new structures. It can be businesses, organizations, or some of you belong to spiritual communities. This is a spiritual community in its own way. And so we want to continue to infuse those communities with love. And as we infuse them, then love can be channeled more strongly through them. And, you know, I know Jim's done a beautiful job of really gathering people over many, many years, and creating many structures where we all participate in creating the structure. And so then love is even stronger and more authentic. So beautiful. So love is very powerful in how it expresses itself, even in its, how it can even change physical forms. It can change our health. It can change our connections. It can change actual physical forms in the world. So it's a very powerful force in and of itself. And so let's play with that love and that powerful force of love right now with ourselves, which sometimes can be quite a difficult place to play. First of all, we're going to just start with ourselves, of course. And one of the, I heard Lauren say that she had screen fatigue. So you have a couple options here. Since a lot of you have a screen, you can pin yourself on the screen and then use that will be your mirror. So if you want to use a screen and you're on an individual screen, you would pin yourself, which is up in the corner of your box, and then your screen becomes your mirror. If you have a mirror, you take that mirror and you can use that for this exercise. So, and if for some reason you forgot the mirror, imagine yourself looking at yourself. It's probably more effective with a mirror or with the screen, pinning yourself to the screen. So go ahead and do that now. Either pull out your mirror if you're in a group situation, or pin your screen. Oh yeah, phone. You can use your phone as a mirror too. Okay. So once you're starting to focus in on your mirror, just want you to look at your face, and let's try to look at our faces without judgment. So I know it's a big ask, but just slowly it will come, and you can just go, thank you very much. I value your opinion, and I'm releasing it right now. And as you look at yourself, just forget the wrinkles, the freckles, the age marks, or the wisdom marks, or your appearance in general, anything that you might be attracted to or repelled by in yourself. And let that go. Just let that go. Say, take a step to the side. You can always return later if you really want to. And instead, we're going to just see ourselves through the eyes of a child. Looking at ourselves without judgment. Looking at ourselves with compassion, if that's an easier way to look at it. Looking at ourselves with compassion. Seeing yourself as divine. Looking at the divine child who is always worthy of your love and your support. So you're always worthy of your love and your support. Looking at your divine child, that beautiful being in front of you, amazing being in front of you. Look into your own eyes, or observing your eyes deeply. If you can't look straight into them, you can observe them. And tell yourself, I love and respect you. I love and respect you. And you can add your name, Jayne. I love and respect you. And from a place of somebody who is so dedicated to your own awakening, to our own awakening, dedicated to our own growth and awareness and healing, from that space, tell yourself whatever else you would like you to know, being from a space of love and not criticism or judgment, but just from a space of love. What else do you want this beautiful, amazing, incredible being body to know? What else do we want us to know? What else would you like to tell yourself? What else is in your heart, in your soul, in your life right now? And I want us all to kind of stay in that space of love and incredible love for ourselves. Carry that with us into the next piece of this exercise. Rich will put us into breakout rooms, or you will divide up in your group rooms, those that are in live settings. And in those rooms, you are going to mute yourself. You can pin the other person if you'd like. It makes it a little bit easier. You can pin the other person and mute yourselves. And we're just going to practice gazing at each other in the best way that we can on screen. Just going to practice gazing at each other. So one way to do that in a less distracted form would be to pin the other person and mute yourself. Both people are muting. We're just working through our eyes to express the love that we feel. And so you're going to be invited into a breakout room in a few seconds, and I want you to do that. All right. So just allowing yourself to return to the space and to the circle. Thank you for your beautiful practices. And of course, this is something we can practice at home with others. Another way to do it is called trespasso, and you look left eye to left eye, and it sometimes is a little bit easier when we do it from one eye to another to kind of focus in. But this gazing is beautiful as well, and so there's a bunch of different options.
I love this exercise because this is how I've created all my friendships, whether it be a gaze that was 3 seconds or 20 seconds. But talking for future purposes, when trying to connect with someone on this, what I believe to be a very spiritual level, I think the eyes are really the key to the soul. How do you invite someone into this kind of space that maybe, you know, there's a certain trust that needs to be rebuilt. You're trying to heal certain relationships, and you want to, be open to receiving love and giving love, and offering maybe this even exercise to someone that means a lot to you, but they may not feel comfortable doing it with you, or safe doing it with you because of whatever situation. How can you, in a healthy way, introduce this or experiment with it, like, because I want to start using this, because it just happens by chance most of the time in life, and I feel like if it was more practical and you could use it without making someone feel like they're being manipulated or something, and just like, a casual healing experience with someone, like, what is a technique or a way to bring it about?
Hmm. Maybe if it feels too vulnerable or the idea, you can present the idea to the person and see how open they are to it. But if there's some repair work that you're doing, maybe you start with something else like breathing together, which is a little bit less or a lot less vulnerable than looking into each other's eyes. Or doing like Jim's favor, the A-B exercises. Those are always a kind of a nice, like a little verbal sharing back and forth about a fear I have. One of the things we often do before we go into a deeper exercise with people in the school training is sharing about a fear I have is, and about doing this gazing exercise with you is. And you keep doing that. A fear I have is, a fear I have is, and then the other person gets 5 minutes to express that. And then you each say, an excitement I have about doing this gazing exercise with you is, an excitement I have about doing this gazing exercise with you is. And then see if that can help ease the way. It usually does, because it clears some of like the fears and makes them less scary when we verbalize them. And sometimes it's a good entry into a gazing exercise. Now, sometimes when folks have had a conflict between them, but even more so if somebody has like a trauma history, sometimes the looking into the eyes is just too terrifying. And so maybe there's a way to hold space together without the gazing, like even a holding of a hand, or
like back to back.
oh
If you're
yeah, that's a
breathing
beautiful
back to
one.
back, powerful activity.
Sitting back to back and breathing is a nice way to begin to connect. So you might need several steps. If there was a big breach in the relationship, you might need several smaller steps first. Or if somebody has like an extensive kind of trauma background that's still not that is very triggered at this moment, then you might want to start somewhere besides gazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That is another uh, way that you can prepare to do something like that, which is to do what we often do in the beginning of our meditations. We breathe up the back and down the front. You can breathe up your back and down the back of your partner.
Mm,
And they don't even, this is nothing intrusive. You're not manipulating, you're including them in your holy space. And
mm.
they don't even know that necessarily. But what you're doing is you're also taking away your own fear of being with them in the sacred space.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. Thanks, Jim. All right, so thank you for participating in that. And we just want to do one other exercise with you before we close our section.
Appreciate you all hanging in there and going from activity to activity. Seems like everybody's doing great, and I love the questions and sharing. So one last thing. This is called Announcing My Heart to the World. And this is from Murray Duplessis's book called Modern Meditations. So I'm going to do some reading here. and then I'll lead you in an activity. So this is just a little background first. So advertisements might grab our attention with their sharp, succinct messages. T-shirts too occasionally have a catchy line emblazoned across their chest, some of which really shine or resonate with us. There are those that are attractive in their simplicity, like I recently saw one that said "Ride!" exclamation point on a T-shirt, printed under a bicycle. Plain messages, but impactful also. Could be humorous slogans, such as "I speak fluent sarcasm." That one particularly tickled me. And of course, there are those that are thought-provoking and inspiring, like another favorite, which is "A world without strangers."
Mm.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if we all had a positive slogan written across our shirts for the world to draw meaning and inspiration from? Well, in a way we can, but instead of buying a printed T-shirt, we'd wear an invisible inner slogan written across our hearts. We would carry subtle messages within, expressing things like "Love is alive," or "I'm touching the light right now. Can you feel it too?"
Yes.
What's more, by bearing these messages, we'd naturally be transformed into the embodiment of that message. All it takes to become these beacons of light, these messengers of inspiration that the world is so in need of, is regularly asking ourselves the following simple question. What single quality would benefit my surrounds right now? That question alone taps into our spiritual intelligence as we learn to assess the state of our external environment alongside our capacity to summon a virtue from within and offer its beauty outward, moving our surrounds to a higher state. Let's ask that very question now and listen for our heart's response. As we sit quietly and observe our surrounds, we get a general sense of the atmosphere here, and then we ask, what single quality would benefit my surrounds right now? Go within and listen. Open yourself up to any whisperings of a response. What message does my heart have for me and for the world right now? What quality, what kind of energy is my heart yearning to share? Your heart, after all, is that wise spiritual space, and it knows what's needed in this moment. What's needed is that you bring your heart out into the open, enabling its wisdom to surface. As you listen, you start to feel that very quality blossoming inside. It may be love, peace, purity, or strength. Whatever it is, this is what your heart wants to offer the world. Now, with this virtue rising inside you, think of an appropriate one-line message expressing the virtue. It may be something simple like, "Love shines brightly," or "Peace is my purpose," or "My heart sparkles like a diamond touching all," or "I am strong, as are you," or "Touch my light, it shines for you." See if a slogan comes to you now. Repeat this message, and the essence of this message fills your heart, and you feel yourself being transformed by its quality. Its energy flows through your entire being before overflowing outward into the world. Radiating with this feeling, you take a moment to reflect on the message's virtual core, be it love, peace, purity, strength, or whatever it is. See that core word alone spelled out in bright letters across your heart. L-O-V-E. See those four letters glowing within. And inside that glow is a tangible feeling of love. P, E, A, C, E. The letters shine with tranquility. Serentity. All is calm. This feeling drifts through you, a palpable vibration before flowing outward, and as this energy moves through you and out of you, you can enjoy its presence, its richness, its positive influence. You can go deeper into it too, deeper into the feeling, deeper into the understanding. Now think back to my original one-line message and offer it again in its totality to your surrounds. In imparting it to the world, you are transformed very naturally into a messenger for spreading its fragrance. You have become the embodiment of its core virtue as the energy of this quality circulates through you and out of you in a stream of living light. Again, offer this message, imbued with spirit and heart, to our world, creating a positive shift in the atmosphere for all to draw healing and help from. And bringing our guidance to a close, coming back to the circle and the group, bringing your essence of your message, and even the words if you can, back to our group. I just want to mention, as people are coming back, that you could do a drawing perhaps, or write out your phrase, or go ahead and have t-shirts made if you want. Jayne's wearing her Love Changes Everything t-shirt. I'm wearing my Happy Biking shirt.
So we want to hear your slogan. And so we'll do a quick go around and just do one line of what your slogan is. You don't have to explain it. We're just going to put it out there.
Sending you a hug.
Sending you a hug. Love it. Thank you.
My daughter sent me the most intense, loving message just when we were doing that. It was so interesting, the timing of it. Love heals everything.
There you go.
Okay. My light and love shines brightly to everyone I encounter.
It does. Thank you.
Okay. So I have love inside, love outside. Love is all there is.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Healing is my nature.
You are good, smart, and kind.
Love is the answer.
See, my love, it's there for you.
Mine is I'm so in love with you.
Feel how much I love you.
Creating sacred space.
Let love shine.
May all experience rest.
We are in love.
Surrender is not weakness.
I transmit the love we are.
Loving everyone means just that, no exception.
Love ignites the darkness with light.
Love is the hope in our hearts.
Happy and content.
And the last one, love is enough.
Hey. We want to read one last quote for you, which is Preparation for Food, if you do eat food now, by Glenda Green. Always receive food with love, for it is love that instructs the food on how to nourish your body. So with that, we are very grateful for having the time with you to present today. Thanks for being open to play with us.